Welcome back to the kitchen, friends. For the last couple of weeks we have been experimenting with growing our own mushrooms. What I have here is a lion's mane mushroom that we grew over the course of the last, I'd say, 2.5 weeks it took to get this far. We've also been experimenting with pink oyster mushrooms, which we heard taste like bacon when you fry them up in a pan with butter, and they do. I think they do a little more than what Rachel thinks they do, but either way, they're really, really good. This lion's mane mushroom is just about past its prime. We probably should have harvested this guy yesterday. You can see across the top here is starting to get a little bit brown here on the tips. So we're going to harvest this mushroom today. We're going to shred it up and we are going to make crab cakes. Well, it won't really be real crab cakes, kind of mock crab cakes. It's one of the things that we kept hearing about lion's mane mushroom was that it shreds apart really easily into little fine pieces. This is kind of the stalk part. I don't know if we want to use that. And if you cook it up like you would crab meat and make crab cakes out of it, supposedly it tastes exactly like it. So we're going to find out today. So these lion mane mushroom kits are definitely very, very, very high humidity. It comes with a little plastic tent that you kind of saw me pull off there at the beginning of the video. And we kept that tent on it all day, every day. But we do run our air conditioner, so I think that kind of removes some humidity from the air, because when we recently lost power at our home and that's really pretty right there. For about 4 days we didn't have power, so we couldn't run our air conditioner, and it seemed like it really liked that a lot better. I'm wondering if instead of keeping it in my house, if I would have had a little bit better growth, if I would have stored it maybe like in my garage and just put it on my workbench out there in the garage. Although once it actually starts growing and you're starting to get a lot of good growth out of it, you do need to water it with a spray bottle. Basically lift the tent off and spray the inside of the tent and spray around on the log that it grows out of 3 to 5 times a day. So it was kind of just sitting over here in our kitchen, so it was really handy. Every time I would walk by, I would give it a couple squirt bottles under in the little tent and keep the moisture up. But that would be one negative about having it in my garage, is I would be less likely to actually give it the watering that it needs. But it's definitely way more humid outside or out in the garage than it is here in our house. So there we go. Not as much as I had really hoped for. I was picturing in my head we were going to end up with this big giant mushroom, but it kind of petered out on me. But maybe round 2 will go good. But this should definitely be enough fake crab meat for me and Rachel to have dinner. There's our meal for tonight. It is the next day. You can probably notice my shirt is different, but we didn't have time to cook dinner last night, so what did we?
I worked late.
That's why. Worked till 7 o'clock last night.
Lion's Mane mushroom crab cakes. That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you followed your same recipe from the recent crab cake video we posted, which we'll link down in the description for you guys
Yeah.
to check out.
And if you missed that one, we made mock crab cakes with zucchini. So we'll see how Lion's Mane crab cakes taste.
Yeah, it's very good. This bite has a lot more. See? It's not going to focus on that.
It felt different making the recipe with this because the mushroom was so light, not heavy, like fish would be heavy.
Right.
But
I think your recipe calls for like 1 pound.
right, a fish
1 pound of fish or crab meat. But one pound of this mushroom,
would be a counterful.
a lot, because it's just light and fluffy. But volume-wise, it's probably about
Pretty
the same.
close.
But yeah, that bite that I just had like a big chunk in it, and that was really good.
I wonder if we'll learn, like if we should, how stringy to make it versus chunky.
I thought I had remembered somebody saying shred it really small, so I made it really small this time, but yeah, I think it's really good. It doesn't taste like mushroom at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, good job. That was pretty fun growing.
Yeah, I wish it would have like grew like huge, like you see, but I'm sure we messed it up when we.
Well, I did. I cut the package wrong. Last night, after I wrapped up filming last night, I taped up that Lion's Mane one. I taped it back up, cut a proper hole in the rear of it, and I moved them out to the garage this time.
Oh, that'll be good.
Because our house is, I mean, relatively cool. We keep our air conditioning on, and they thrive on heat and humidity. So I moved both of them back out there. We'll see if we can get another growth out of them.
Yeah, totally fun. I think it would be worth it. I mean, considering, I guess I wouldn't know if you had to go buy mushrooms, how much would it be? I don't know
Yeah,
that I know
I'm not
that.
really sure. But it was definitely fun. Somebody said that they were buying some, they homeschooled their kids, and they were buying one of the kits, and they were going to have their kids do it, which I thought was a really cool idea.
And I have to tell you that Jess's, if you guys watch Roots and Refuge, brown butter tomato with the molten salt, oh my goodness.
Is it good?
So good. I think that's going to be a regular appetizer. It's a great vegetarian option too, right? Instead of crab cakes or anything else, it's just if you're.
Other than the egg, right?
Oh yeah, there is.
You can
egg.
substitute some. Vegetarians can substitute something for
egg.
eggs, right?
I don't
To make
know
it bind together. Yeah, it was good.
Thanks again, Mushroom Man.
Yeah.
Feeding us dinner. It's really good.
Yeah, the tomatoes are good. We will leave, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we'll leave links to these mushroom kits down in the description if you want to check them out. Thanks again to Mike for sending them over to us to try out. It was
So good.
really fun.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Think you'll do it again? Like, after this one package is done, do you think that you would invest in more of the like indoor mushroom packages?
I think I want to see if. Oh, we were losing power for a second there. I want to see all of the like leftover surplus pink oyster mushrooms. I've been dehydrating them, so they're all dehydrated, and I really want to try to rehydrate them.
See
and
how they
cook
do.
with them and see how they do, how they hold up. I think the perfect scenario for them is freeze drying, which we don't really have a freeze dryer, but I think dehydrating should just do just fine.
Yeah.
I was also talking with them too about instead of like a kit that you can buy, you can actually do more sustainable mushroom farming outdoors with things like morels. You can inoculate wood chips with them and things like that. So that might be something else we explore down the road too.
That would be fun.
Something that grows back every year, year after year after year, instead of you buy this log and you get 2 or 3 harvests and then it's done. So that might be fun too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
All right. We proved you can make mock crab cakes with now lion's mane mushroom.
it turned out very good. So thanks for coming along on our part 2 of our little mushroom adventure here, or maybe it's part 2. Part 3? Part 2? Yeah, whatever. Thank you. We'll see you guys later.